Welcome to Art in Motion.
Thank you. My name is Meher Khan. I am from the Minneapolis College of Art and Design, so I'm one of the artists in residence.
Is this your first time to Holdingford?
Yes.
Very good. What do you think of this little small town?
It's really nice. It's definitely very different from the Twin Cities. I actually, when I was young, I lived in Arkansas for a little while. It reminds me of that. So.
Now, you're a graduate student, correct? Or you're in your second year, or you completed your graduate work?
I completed my graduate work just now in May.
Okay, in May, congratulations.
Thank you.
And your undergraduate was done at?
I did it at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, in graphic design and art.
Okay, very good. So then you went on to get your master's degree?
Yes.
And now you're doing a residency?
Yes.
And so what would the next steps of your journey be?
That's a great question. I actually have another residency lined up in September with Everwood Farms, I think it's called, just over in Wisconsin. So another like rural area. It's really meant for, I think, kind of a similar vibe, like not isolation, but just kind of like getting to a quieter place, like being among nature a little more.
Yeah, very good. So you said you went to, your upbringing was in Minneapolis?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So what were your early life influences in art? I mean, your mom, grandma, father, what's kind of...
Yeah, I would say I've always been drawing something. Like, I don't remember not drawing ever, but I've always really liked animals too, so I feel like that's something that shows up in my work often. And both my parents are from India, so when I was a teenager, on one of my visits there, I learned how to do henna, like applying henna on hands, and I think that had a really big impact on my kind of design sensibility as well as like my illustration. So I like a lot of like little details and like abstracted figures, like floral and natural motifs.
Yeah, what part of India was your family from?
They're from Hyderabad.
And what, not familiar with that side of India, is it north, south, east, west?
So it's considered south, and it's really like right in the middle of the country.
Okay.
So if you know where like Bangalore is,
Yeah.
it's like 3 hours from there.
Okay, very, little warm there, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah. Very good. So you said undergraduate in graphic design. So is that something you might be leaning towards down in the future, you're thinking, or teaching, or?
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are kind of like wide open for me at this point because like with an MFA, I can teach now. I did work as a designer for a little while after undergrad, and then I actually moved into communications work. So I was doing communications plus design, basically, like a lot of marketing and that kind of stuff, writing. So doing my MFA was sort of a chance to pivot back to focusing on fine art.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
Yeah.
So do you follow any particular artists, modern day artists now that you'd say would be your influencer at all, if you had to?
Like so many. I'm trying to think of like one or two.
What's your favorite art museum?
I think it's the MIA, the Minneapolis Institute of Arts.
Yeah.
They have a really good blend of like traditional and modern art.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it's they have a lot of interesting programming, just like getting people involved with the art.
Yeah. With your family's background coming from India, do you follow any Indian artists at all?
I have started doing a little bit of research just into the history of just art making, and a lot of craft. I think especially the craft made by women goes unrecorded in history, so I'm really interested in a lot of like textile work and like the clothing in India. There's some of it's so intricate and like it's just so much work goes into it, and there's a lot of craftsmanship, and those artisans might not be like recognized for the work they did, but I've been studying that a little bit. And I based some of my thesis work when I graduated on.
Well, may I ask what your thesis was on?
Yeah, I actually made a sari. Like I got a plain sari and I screen printed on the sari, and then I wore the sari, and then I had photographs taken in a record store.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was talking about sort of place, like where we feel like our identity might belong in totality, like if it's you know, I wouldn't typically wear my Indian clothes to like a record store or just like in my daily life, but that was something I was thinking about, so
Oh,
we
very
did a
good.
photo shoot.
So, your focus here at Art in Motion, what you've been, tell us a little bit what you've been working on.
Yeah, I really wanted to get back into block printing, so I've been doing a couple. I actually have, this is great, I have samples.
Very good.
I've been taking some walks and then like noticing some of the plants and then trying to identify them through like Google image search. And one of the first ones I did was this pennycress. So pennycress has these little like heart-shaped leaves. And then after figuring out what it was, I sort of abstracted it and carved this block and then made these little patches in different colors. And I'm also at the guest house where I'm staying. There's a cat named Ronnie. And Ronnie he's been my muse. So I did a little print of Ronnie, and I also have this painting I did of him.
I think Ronnie's going to miss you.
I'm gonna miss Ronnie. He's a good snuggler.
Oh, look at that, huh?
Yeah, there's Ronnie. He's a really fun cat, and he has fun like markings. He's gray and white, so
Yeah, he was a stray.
Yeah.
Just showed up and he's taken over.
yeah. I hope he has a great life.
I'm sure he has right now. He does.
Yeah, for sure. This is something I actually started before I came here, another kind of like plant focused. I have a plant that's called Wandering Dude, like that's one of its informal names, and then it tends to grow kind of wild, like it just keeps going and it gets bigger and bigger. So I started this print, and my intention is to take it back and finish it on some tote bags. So it'll.
Oh
be
yeah,
like-
yeah.
and then I have the block as well. And this is my first time trying a reduction lino cut. So this is the first layer, and then once I'm done printing this totally, then I will go back in and carve more and print the second layer. So that helps me with the placement. Like I don't need to do a lot of registration, and I don't need 2 blocks. I just use one.
Oh, very good.
And then the downside is that I can never print it again because like once I've carved into it, it's gone.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of inspiration for younger artists that might be in high school or about pursuing art as part of your learning?
Yeah, I would say make a lot, like produce a lot of art, and don't worry about if it's good or not. Like don't worry about posting it online, like just do it for the sake of doing it, and do it even if it's bad, and just keep up with your practice. I think that helps immensely in just having a large body of work to look back on and find patterns in what your style is, and just stay in the habit of making.
Keep active in it.
Yeah.
You'll find your journey. I like some of the stuff you have on the wall too. Is that some of the stuff that you brought up here, or were you making it up here as well?
So this is kind of like older work
Yeah.
from my portfolio, and most of these are like 18 by 24 inch posters.
Oh, very good.
But this is a lot of the. Yeah, all of this I think I did before I started the program, which is it's a 2-year program, but there's a couple of poster shows in the Twin Cities. One is called Art Crank, which is now just ended this past year, but it's like bikes and art.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
did we miss it?
Yeah, that's what the cat biting the bicycle. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
but
we'll have
that's-
to get up on that. How many exhibits would have been at that show, do you think?
So I think it's about 50 artists.
Oh,
They have-
50 artists, look at that.
Yeah, they're all like hand printed in some way.
Hand printed, that is great. Art Crank, is that in Minneapolis?
Yeah, and they actually, at some point, they were international. Like they were going to different cities and
Cool.
doing shows. It was cool.
Well, thanks for sharing that one. We'll have to keep that one in mind.
Yeah.
Is there any other art festivals or exhibitions that you participate in the cities at all?
Yeah, another one of them is called Posters for Parks. So it raises money for the Minneapolis Parks Board.
Posters for the parks.
Yeah.
When is that?
So that's an annual show, and it's kind of the same concept. It's I think about 40 to 50 artists, and then each of them makes a hand-printed poster based on parks or something inspired by the parks.
Oh, okay.
And part of the sales go to the Parks Board.
And yours is to Leave No Trace.
Yeah, Leave No Trace. Also, the red one on top of it, that one's called Animal Friends. That's
Okay.
a giant block print I did, like this type of carving. Um, and then the bunny is actually, it's a monument in South Minneapolis. It's like this big bronze bunny. And it's called, they call it the Minnehaha bunny because it's
Oh.
right next to the creek.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself doing art in the morning, afternoon, or evening, or late night?
Usually I do it at night. I feel like that's when my creative energy is like, I'm done with the day and like done with any kind of work I have to do, and then I want to make some art. But like more and more I'm finding like as I'm aging, I'm tired, so I don't do it quite as much as I used to. But I think, I mean, a residency like this is really nice because the only thing I really have to do is art. Like, I don't have to worry about like chores or like I don't know, my laundry or whatever, and I can just focus on art. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
And it's a nice setting, nice and peaceful. You don't have the honk and beep beep.
Yeah, none
Yeah.
of that.
Well, we really enjoyed your presence being here,
Yeah.
and many compliments from a lot of people on both you guys. So
Thanks so much.
I hope you keep Art in Motion in mind and come visit us down the road.
Definitely. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.